No, and as I said, I thought that the notes we had from that interview with Donald Trump indicated he realises that, or his team does, and that means he's listening. We know Mick, you know better than me, doesn't always listen to his team. He's his own man. That's why a lot of voters like him. Hey, I better get your reaction to this as well. We've got our Washington correspondent, Annalise Nielsen. She's just spoken to Donald Trump's son, Eric, on the floor of the convention. Let's have a quick listen to that.
We wanted to ask JD Vance, why did your dad pick him?
He's incredible. He's incredible. First of all, their chemistry is really amazing, and that's everything in life, right? I mean, a lot of effective leaders out there, but you need to be able to work with them, and the chemistry those two have is great. You know, JD's young, a lot of energy. He's been successful in business, successful in the military, successful in government, incredibly well respected. Got a lot of the same ideas as my father, and they're going to be a dynamic team together.
What do you say to people who say, oh, he's a never-Trumper?
I think the exact opposite. I don't think there's anybody that's embraced my father's platform more over the last couple of years than JD. He's come on thick and hard, and he's been fantastic. Those guys are going to work together great, and I see behind the scenes how much respect they each have for one another, and it's probably something that the media traditionally doesn't see, but they're going to make a hell of a team.
And just quickly, how's your dad doing?
He's doing well. He's doing well. Scary as hell. That should not happen. You know, we all saw his life literally flashed before our eyes, and it was far too close. It should never have happened, but he's a remarkable fighter. He's got tremendous spirit, and we're going to win this. Make no mistake. And just one thing for you, we love Australia. We love Australia. It's a beautiful place, and I'll come back. I can't wait.
Are we going to see your dad tonight?
Possibly. I'll leave the suspense holding. All right.
Like Australia, Mick, I better ask you about the shooting itself. What was going through your mind when you saw this, when your old boss, when there was an attempt on his life on the weekend?
Yeah, Tom, it's not an entirely fair question because I was in a rural part of my country where I didn't have cell phone service, so I didn't find out about it until after it had happened. Right. And by that time, I knew that he was okay, so I wasn't watching it in real time as many people were. But, you know, looking back now, you have to wonder, oh, my goodness gracious, how close did he come to quite literally having his head blown off? It's a stunning development here. It's not something we deal with a lot. Ronald Reagan dealt with this in 1981. Clearly, John Kennedy did in 1963. But this is not normal for us. And I'm very pleased with the way that Donald Trump has come back and responded. He's been very gracious, been very positive. Again, as we talked before, talked to the campaign and to the party about dialing down the rhetoric and the attacks on the Democrats. It has shown real leadership. There's no question. But to Annalise's thing, it was fascinating because I've not seen that interview until just you showed it to me now. The word chemistry, I get asked a lot, why did he pick JD Vance? And chemistry is the right word. Keep in mind, the vice president under our system is the only appointment, the only decision, the only person the president can hire that he's not allowed to fire. Okay, that once the vice president is on the ticket with him and sworn in, he can't get rid of him. And so the chemistry thing is real. Donald Trump apparently wanted somebody he knew he could work with well for 4 years and was willing to overlook things that were said 6 or 8 years ago. So it's a very good interview Annalise just had and very insightful from Eric Trump. I think that's the right answer to the question. It's the chemistry more so than anything else.
But I guess loyalty within that too. I mean, I've got to chuckle a little bit when you say only person he can't fire. We know Donald Trump likes that word for several reasons. So loyalty, that must mean when he looks around, that has to be high up there because, as you say, he's got that position now for if the election is won for the term.
Yeah, well, loyalty is part of the chemistry, right? You're not going to hire somebody that you think is going to stab you in the back. I think it's one of the reasons that Donald Trump and Nikki Haley never really gelled as a potential ticket because I don't think Donald Trump doesn't trust her. So, yeah, no, loyalty is part of chemistry, but I think that's the key issue. It has more to do with anything he said in the past, any particular policy issue. JD Vance is not going to bring a state into play. Ohio is firmly in Trump's pocket anyway, so he doesn't necessarily help much in Michigan or Pennsylvania. This is all about chemistry, and that's not a bad reason to pick a vice president.
Yeah, perhaps it's a sign of confidence, as you say, because you can pick a running mate to go, hey, let's shore up this state, or attempt to. So perhaps that's a sign of confidence. What about finally that image? Mick, from what you know of Donald Trump, and I know we're kind of doing a bit of pop psychology here, but did that look sort of just instinctive, Or is this a man that always knows the cameras are watching and he thinks, hey, I'm not going to lose this moment politically. I'm going to win it.
Both. His instincts are political. They just are. But what you saw on that stage with the blood running down his face is Donald Trump. That's just who he is. And I think that the contrasts between what you saw on Saturday with him after being shot and Joe Biden from the various times we've seen him in the last 3 weeks since the debate are stark, which is why I think your instincts are correct, Tom, is that the Trump team feels like that this election is theirs to lose. But what you saw on stage was Donald Trump being Donald Trump. He only knows one speed. One of the things I've always said when I worked for him, when people say, what's he really like behind closed doors? I'm like, he's really like what you see on television.